got off the water at Table Rock. Decided to go out for the day. The Solo Pro Series Championship's going on. Unfortunately, didn't qualify, but I figure since I've got a couple tournaments going on there next spring, and probably going to dabble there a little bit in the winter. I haven't been on the lake much, so really just try to test it out, find some new spots, try to find some brush piles, and did pretty good. This is kind of a new segment I'm thinking about doing next year, and it's kind of called Lessons Learned, or what I should have done or changed. So based on the type of day it was today, it was overcast, it was cold, a little bit of rain. I started out on secondary points. Started out middle of the lake, secondary points, and drop shotting and jigging. Caught one on my first spot and then decided to move. I went to the backside of a secondary point with a dock on it. Fished around the dock, didn't get anything, and then went to the edge of the dock, the end of it, and caught 3 or 4. One actually pretty good. Started off with a drop shot. The color today seemed to be this Robo Worm Morning Dawn. They seem to do pretty good. From there, I switched over to Finesse. This is a 7/16 V&M shaky head. And basically I threw that majority of the day. I tried cranking a little bit, I tried to buzz bait a little bit, tried to spinner bait, tried to jerk bait, but it seems like as the day went on, the bite got tougher and tougher, towards the end of the day. Got off the water at 3 o'clock and had probably, 3 to 4 keepers that would have weighed, probably 12 pounds, maybe 10 pounds. But thinking about it now, I probably should have stayed a lot more with the drop shot. I felt like I could have gotten more bites and, probably a lot more quality fish. Unfortunately, what I brought down there for Table Rock, I didn't have a whole lot of drop shot stuff, so I ended up breaking off 2 or 3 times and was out of gear. As far as the areas, I'm thinking the channel swings. So anywhere in a long pocket where a channel would come up and you'd had a 45-degree angle on the bank, probably should have focused on that more. I heard a lot of guys that I ran into saying they had a really good wiggle work bite over the weekend, or over the last couple days. And it probably died off today, which one guy told me it did, which tells me those fish probably pushed out deeper with that real cold, air and cold front coming in. Those fish that were probably up 10, 12 feet up on the shoreline probably dropped out deeper. And that's kind of what I saw on the docks. So as I got near a dock, I wouldn't see anything on the shallow side, but as soon as I got towards the deep end, probably 20, 30 foot of water, that's when I'd see a lot of activity with bait fish and schools of fish. So that tells me probably what I should have done is not only focused on docks with brush piles on secondary points, but also those channel swings. So areas where that channel swing comes up against the bank, you got chunk rock mixed with bluff wall, and really try to hit those transition areas where those fish have an easy ability to move up and down in the water column. The baits I really wouldn't have changed. I might have thrown a deeper crankbait a little bit, maybe a football jig, but I felt that with what I was throwing, what I was doing, I was getting the bites. It was at least getting 2 to 3 bites an hour, and I just felt really comfortable doing that. So today's lessons really is, it's not changing the baits that I was throwing, it's more so changing the areas that I was fishing and adjusting with what I was seeing on my graph, what the fish were telling me as they were biting it. Colors I felt pretty comfortable. They were green pumpkin with probably a little bit of blue flake, peanut butter and jelly, and that kind of seemed consistent for me today. So overall, it was a great day. It was a fun time in the water. Hopefully you guys like these types of lessons learned. I'd be happy to do more of them. So as always, feel free to like this video, like my Facebook page. I've got a YouTube page. I've got a website, forestoutdoors.com. Next year is ramping up to be a really cool big year. I'm excited, bringing on some new sponsors, retaining a lot of great sponsors that I've had this past year. So excited to see what 2017 has to offer, and hopefully you guys can tag along for the ride. I appreciate it. You guys have a great weekend, great Christmas, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.